Aerospace editing side note, thank you so much for 100 subscribers. I decided to start this episode before we hit the milestone, and well, since then we have gone over and above nearly by 100, so thank you so much. If you guys are new around here, make sure to smash that subscribe button because 99.6% of you that watch my videos have not subscribed already. So without further ado, we're going to continue with the episode. I have mentioned in the video that there are going to be timestamps below if you want to be skipping to the part where I just start the 100 volts, so enjoy. Hello and welcome to what is going to be a very exciting episode 3 of this brand new series, because today we're going to be doing 100 Orokin Vaults. I don't have the keys yet, which means I've started a brand new clan. I'll show you that now, but for the meantime, if we come and check our Orokin Vault mods, you can see out of the 24 that are available, I have none of them. We're going to be able to see how many we get out of the 100 that we do in terms of duplicates, and potentially even be able to sell. But before we're able to sell and before we're able to get the Orokin keys that are going to let us into the vaults, I have started a clan. As you can see over here, we have the clan key and obviously Excalibur, Seer, and Cronus from the previous episode. But what exactly is the name of my said clan? As you can see, my name is Aerospace, and the clan itself is called the Aerospace Hangar. Okay, don't judge. It's nothing much, but it's honest work. As you can see here, we have, well, no connectors whatsoever. On the screen right now is what I'm thinking for the design and layout. So if you do have any suggestions, definitely let me know, because I'm no expert at building dojos or anything like that. I have had experience in a dojo before, but nothing of, I guess, this magnitude. So if you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments. But first things first, we're going to have to build some connectors. That way we can actually get the reactors built. If we have to search for cross connector here we go. That way we're going to be able to start building our halls to be able to build the Orokin lab, so we can get the Orokin keys. And then while the farming will commence, there's going to be a bit of preparation leading up to the Orokin Vaults themselves, so if you're here just for that, there will be timestamps below so you can skip ahead. But in the meantime, if you're just here for the enjoyment of watching some Warframe, stick around because we're going to be having some fun, getting some extra things done, because while we collected things the last episode, Excalibur, Cronus, and the Seer, get things level up and do actually the MR4 test next. And well, extra form and all that kind of stuff, because these rooms do cost quite a bit to get built. MR4 required. Now let's go do some Lith relic runs, because I've just seen ones available, and we're going to need quite a bit of former, so that is going to, well, help a lot in that fact. I know it's not the most, I guess, efficient way to be using a former at the beginning of the game, but hey, well, because I've never actually run a void relic on this account, this right here is going to be our limiting factor. I think it's about 10 per key when it comes to the Orokin Vaults themselves, so I'm going to try and keep, I think it's about 5 per key on me at all times, which means I'm going to go into the mission, come out, and also come to the foundry and craft one, and not have to wait the extra minute between each runs if I by mistake have used up one of my keys. I'm going to do them solo. I'm not going to do them with a group, and because of that, our frame of choice is going to be none other than our starter Warframe Vault, because I mean, look at him, he looks fantastic. Other than that, we're going to be using his second ability, which is going to be his sprint speed, and that's going to help us basically get through these vaults quicker than while doing them over a couple of years. I thought, why not for these relic runs, let's switch over to poster boy himself, Excalibur. I've basically done a color palette where I accentuate his colors that he came with, and also the Twitch link signed on itself. I don't have a purple just yet in my color palette, so I just left that kind of like plain. But otherwise, yeah. Nice, double former, okay. After those runs, we have accumulated 156 void traces. Okay, that's not too bad, because between now and the time that we actually get the Orokin keys, that will probably increase quite a bit. So let's go see how many formers we actually ended up getting after all of that. I think that was around 6 or 7. There we go, 6 formers, which is going to be enough to be able to get us the reactors, both 2 reactors, a hall, and the Orokin lab itself. So I guess we got to go farm some Orokin cells and neural sensors, I guess. Neural sensors shouldn't be too bad, because they're here on Jupiter, which is only 1 planet away, so that's not too bad. Then the Orokin cells themselves, I think we'll be farming for Necros, which we should hopefully be enough to drop for the formers that we're going to require. But the Jupiter Junction itself is going to be the heart of Deimos, and I think this is a new movement tutorial. Okay, that's going to be quite fun. But what's quite funny is I'm used to actually going from Earth to Mars to Ceres to then Jupiter on my first, obviously, account that I had. But yeah. 12 hours later, we are back in the dojo because our cross connector should be built by now. There we go. Okay, so we're going to be able to build some reactors on both sides here. Just because we have only 2 available energy, and this is going to give us an extra 25. That is a requirement to be able to build extra rooms like the hall itself. We're going to be going for the, where is it here? The Clan Grandest Hall, which is going to look quite nice. And then on each side here, we're going to have the Oracle and the Orokin Lab. I did forget about the Oracle. That is one of the main requirements to be able to build extra labs in this dojo. So Okay, and a couple days later, we finally have the keys themselves duplicated and researched in the dojo, which means we can finally begin the vaults themselves. What exactly is going to be the plan of action? Well, we have 100 vaults to get through and 24 mods available. What I'm wanting to do is doing them 25 vaults at a time before coming back into the Universe Codex itself and just checking how many we have. So out of the 24 obviously available, I think there's about a 4% drop chance for each of them. Will we get them all this time around? Who knows, but there's only one way to find out. For those of you who are keeping up with the progress of my account, well, we have managed to get ourselves to MR5. Whilst I was waiting for these keys to craft, the rooms to get done, I did the MR5 test, the Heart of Deimos quest to be able to get ourselves to the next planet, plus also the junction itself. That way I was able to farm the Orokin cells and the relevant materials to be able to craft the keys and the former, just to be able to get where we are now. Okay, now that we're all caught up, let's get started. And a lot of farming later. As I said in the beginning of the video, the void traces were going to be the limiting factor to this challenge, and well, it has been so far. So far, I have farmed over 550 void traces. That has led us to 5 of each dragon key being crafted. That was the goal at the beginning of the video, just to have at least 5 so I can go in and out of the missions without having to come and wait the extra minute just to go in and out. But with all 4 equipped, my vault right now is not looking very fast, as we can see. I have done a bit of upgrading with the mod situation, just to kind of give it a bit of extra strength, a bit of duration and everything like that. This build is far from, like, obviously perfect. You can let me know in the comments if I could have done this any better. But yeah, I think it's about time that we kind of head into the first mission and see which mod we're going to be able to get first. I will try have on screen for you guys at the bottom. We'll have the keys that are going to be used, how many we're going to end up using by the end of the challenge out of the 100, how many were obviously the bleeding, how many of the hobbled, etc, etc. And also at the top, potentially, we're going to be able to see how many of the mods and which mods obviously we have left to get. So, without further ado, let's get farming. First Orokin Vault of the challenge, let's go. Okay, so let's see how lucky we're going to be able to get with this first Orokin Vault. How long is it going to take us to get one of these missions done? I have no clue. How many hours is it going to take us to get all 100? Well, we'll have to wait and see. Kind of scrap that idea. Okay, well, I can see that my strength mod has done absolutely nothing. We'll actually just have to just bullet jump our way through these entire things, which I mean is the main movement ability in Warframe, so that's going to be fine. And there we go, finally. How long did that take us? 7 minutes, 27 seconds. We need to get better at this. And there is a Iatan sculpture just before the door. I mean, how lucky is that? I mean, that itself is thumbnail worthy, don't you think? Okay, so I don't know how to explain this, but our first mod of the challenge is Blind Rage. But I do not have an Iatan sculpture. If we come into the universe itself with our slow vault and come to mods, the first mod that we have obviously gotten is Blind Rage. So if we just go vaults, yes, Blind Rage only. That is because the first mission that I did failed. Yeah. What was the first key that we ended up using? That was a hobbled. Okay, so we're going to get that on craft and going again. 25 runs in. I haven't checked the universe just yet, but how do I know exactly I've done 25 runs? Well, if we come into equipment, inventory, and search Orokin, there we go. We have 25 Orokin ciphers, which means we've done 25 Orokin vaults. And as you can see in the bottom left-hand corner, that has been my life for the last day. What exactly did we get? Let's dive in. There are definitely mods that we want to be dropping more of because they're going to be worth more in platinum. Right now they'll be on screen, but those are the ones that are basically more high in demand. Starting with the second vault we did was a Bleeding Dragon Key and Overextended. Get ready because these are going to be the next 25 mods. Bleeding Dragon Key with Fleeting Expertise, Extinguished with Narrow-Minded, Extinguished again with Critical Delay, Decaying with Vile Acceleration, Bleeding with Frail Momentum, Decaying with Creeping Bullseye, Bleeding with Burden Magazine, Decaying with Catalyzing Shields, Extinguished with Blind Rage, which is obviously our second Blind Rage, which is good, Hobbled with Magnum Force, Bleeding with Heavy Caliber, Decaying with Frail Momentum, Decaying with Frail Momentum again, Hobbled with Hollow Point, Extinguished with Catalyzing Shields, Decaying with Critical Deceleration, Bleeding with Creeping Bullseye, Decaying decaying with vile acceleration, extinguished with critical delay, and extinguished again with critical delay again, bleeding with transient fortitude, which is one that we're obviously looking for, bleeding with anemic agility, and decaying with tainted clip. That was the first 25 Orokin Vaults that we did. I mean, that was a pretty decent run. On screen right now, you'll be able to see exactly out of the 24 mods that we have available, which ones we've gotten. Let's head into the universe and see what we've got. That's actually a pretty decent amount of mods, actually. In terms of the mods that we've got left, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, that's not too bad. We've got, I guess, 75 more vaults to do. And with that being said, I'm actually finding out at the exact same time as you what we've got left to get. Because what I'm doing is I'm going in and doing 25 vaults, coming out and editing it, just so I can keep on top of the editing and also doing the 25 vaults at a time. Because my goodness, is this taking a long time just to obviously get the void traces and the ferrite. But hey, this is the 100 subscriber special, so if you are new around here, make sure to subscribe because we've got a lot more of these coming. For those of you who like spreadsheets, well, I've got you covered. I've basically been doing the vaults and then coming out and filling out the spreadsheet, and right now this is what it's looking like. You can see that I've obviously done the hobbled, bleeding, extinguished, and decaying, all in different colors, and if we've got the mod for the first time, I've put it in gold. So with that being said, let's dive into the next 25, starting with the extinguished dragon key and vile precision, hobbled with critical deceleration, bleeding with burden magazine, decaying with anemic agility, bleeding with fleeting expertise, extinguished with creeping bullseye, hobbled with vile acceleration, decaying with hollow point, bleeding with vile acceleration, bleeding with corrupt charge, bleeding again with spoiled strike, decaying with heavy caliber, extinguished with heavy caliber, decaying with critical delay, bleeding with anemic agility, bleeding with fleeting expertise, and extinguished with blind rage, extinguished with vile acceleration, extinguished with heavy caliber, hobbled with corrupt charge, decaying with tainted mag, and that was the last new mod out of these 25 vaults that we've done, decaying with narrow-minded, hobbled with critical delay, extinguished with vile precision, and bleeding with burden magazine. It's crazy how long it's taking us to get 24 mods. We've done 50 Orokin Vaults, which means obviously we've got 50 Orokin Ciphers. Just to obviously double check, yes, we've got 50 of them. Well, in terms of the mods though, we don't have all 24. How many we've got left to get? Well, your guess is as good as mine. Let's quickly just double check just to make sure. Searching Orokin Vaults. We've got, okay, that's not bad. 1, 2, and 3. And I would hope after the last 50 we've got left to do, we've got the new mods. Let's check. "25 vaults later, we've used an extra 7 hobbled keys, 8 bleeding, 5 extinguished, and 5 decaying, and we only ended up getting 1 extra mod, being depleted reload, which is unfortunate, but hey, we've got 25 runs left to do, and that leaves us only 2 mods left to get, and I hope we can end up getting them, Vicious Spread and Tainted Shell. So, 25 runs left to do. What exactly are we going to get? I think there's only one way to find out. For these last 25 runs, I've just made sure to have at least 8 of each dragon key because the maximum we used every single time when it's come to doing 25 vaults at a time has been 8 of one key. So fingers crossed we don't have to craft any more, but I've got a bit of spare, obviously, void traces and ferrite just in case. Let's go. And there we have it, 100 Orokin Vaults later. We've used obviously 100 dragon keys. I asked you guys on a YouTube poll what key you thought we'd use the most of, and were you right? Well, I'll have it on the bottom right hand corner so you can see. In the meantime, obviously we've got 100 Orokin Ciphers to show for it and 100 mods. Let's go and check the duplicates that we ended up getting, and if we obviously ended up getting all of them. I don't think so, but checking the codex for the last time of this challenge, and we're only missing 1 mod, which is a pretty good run when we got 23 out of the 24. The main ones we obviously wanted were the Blind Rage, Transient Fortitude, or the Warframe related ones, because those sell for the most amount of platinum. In terms of duplicates of each of the mods, well, let's dive into our mod section just to double check that. We should hopefully be able to do the same thing and search for Orokin Vault. Okay, no, we actually can't. I mean, now's a better time than ever to jump back into the spreadsheet itself for the final time of the challenge, because I've completely filled it out. You can see at the bottom, I've obviously got the keys and how many times we ended up using them each 25 run. And on the right-hand side, we have the mods and the duplicates, obviously, that we got. Bitter Magazine was the one that we got the most of, and Vicious Spread was the one that we got the least of, because obviously we got 0. Feel free to pause and obviously just take a look at the spreadsheet itself. That's going to be it from me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching the 100 subscriber 100 Orokin Vault video. It's taken me nearly a month to create, so if you guys are new around here, make sure to smash that subscribe button, and if you have any ideas for the 1000 subscriber special, we'll comment them down below, because I'm going to have to start getting that ready, because my goodness, if the 100 subscriber special took this long, just imagine how long that 1000 subscriber special is going to take. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure to smash that subscribe button, and I'll be getting to work on some more challenges for you guys, so keep an eye out on that. But in the next video, we'll be doing some trading, so I'll see you then. Bye.